Hello there, beautiful souls, beautiful humans. Welcome to this mission update, which is actually for the star seeds and the light leaders of this world. And it's all about how to make the most of the new moon Virgo energy preceding the full moon lunar eclipse in Pisces, and then the next new moon, which is also in Virgo, and a solar eclipse. So stay tuned if you would like to know how to harness these energies and make the most of the shift that is available to all of us post Lionsgate as we shapeshift and shift our lives from the old world paradigm of being wired to survive to the new world paradigm where we are wired to thrive. This is exactly what the Virgo energy gives us with the new moon. It's all about the structures to co-create this new reality. So thank you so much for joining me. If you're new to me, I am Rosanna Rosie Glow Hannis. I am the founder of the Star Peace Movement, and I'm a multidimensional success coach and sacred union mentor. And what this is all about is each and every one of us remembering the power of connecting to our soul consciousness, to giving from our overflow, and to learning that the new earth paradigm is basically created from us leading by example rather than self-sacrifice. And this is exactly why these two Virgo new moons are such a blessing for us, with the full moon in Pisces in between, because we are really being given the opportunities to make sure that we shift tracks onto our new timeline, onto the organic paradise earth timeline. And I'm just calling in now divine protection for every one of us, that this is a transmission that everyone who is meant to receive will receive it, and those who are not will not. And I'm inviting you to subscribe if you haven't yet to my YouTube channel, to Rosie Glow, and also to hit the notifications tab if you're catching it there. Remember, I always go live in Manifesting Star Peace Utopia, which is my private group for those of you who would like to know a bit more about how I operate and to hold your frequency high through these challenging times. So we only post about anything that's going to help us stay in this frequency. And that's the key. Birds of a feather flock together, right? And it is time now to really be connected to our soul tribe. So those of you who are here, I would love to hear from you. Please do comment. Please do let me know how you're feeling and what's been coming up for you. Because presently we are in the dark side of the moon, right? We haven't got the new moon yet. The new moon is birthed on the 23rd of this month. That's Saturday. And the next new moon will actually be on the 22nd of September. Now, if you were catching anything that I've been saying recently around Lionsgate, I said that although the peak of the Lionsgate is always from the 8th to the 12th of August, I've really been seeing that the the energies are going to continue to do their work right through to the equinox, which is around the 20th to the 23rd of September. So it's very interesting that this is all coming in, because those of you who've been observing these power portals, you'll know about the most powerful day of the year being the 23rd of July. I believe it's 23rd, might be 24th. But the point is, this is a time when there's an amazing alignment that actually starts with the 7-7 portal. And it's all to do with Sirius, the dog star that aligns with our sun, and also with Alcyone, which is known as our galactic central sun. And when we have cosmic alignments like this, typically we'll see a big upsurge in solar flares, solar storms, and as a result of that as well, the Schumann resonance goes up. So those of us who are sensitives, light workers, light leaders, star seeds, empaths, highly sensitive people really, really feel this. And one thing I've learned for myself is to be super kind during these times, not to expect to push forward, but just to receive the downloads, receive the uploads, and take the time to really listen and nurture to the energies within us, right? So listen to your body, nurture yourself, take time to rest if that's how you feel. And then when the energies are ripe, you will feel you have everything you need to be able to hit the road running. So, how have you been feeling? Those of you who are joining me, let me know what's been going on for you. I would absolutely love to know anything that's coming up. So do share the comments. How have you been feeling? Has it been a really intense time for you? There have been so many people reach out to me and literally say, I just don't even know if I want to be here anymore. I'm finding it hard to be in my body. It feels like everything's just beyond anything I've ever known. And the invite here is to remember that confusion, according to John Assaraf, is concept fusion. When we get confused, when we get overwhelmed, when we don't know where we are, and we're like, I don't know what's happening here. This is a sign that you are in unfamiliar territory. You're breaking ground. beyond your familiar zone, which is called the comfort zone, but it's not actually comfortable. For most of us, it's very uncomfortable, but because it's familiar, we stay looping in the habits, in the mindset that limits us, but ultimately is what we know. And it's what we've inherited. So everyone who is catching this transmission, we are moving through the most unprecedented change possible. And I'm just inviting in the Star Peace Collective to come through me. So I channel through the frequency of Rosy Glow. Rosy Glow is the frequency of divine grace. So although I'm sharing through my human Rosanna, what I'm intending here is that everyone receives the epiphanies, the aha moments that allow you to make sense of what's going on. And I have, of course, prepared quite a lot to go through here with you today to support you to take your focus away from where you're not going to see the change that you want, and actually to put your focus where you can really allow yourself to be the force of change in this world, to channel the force of source. And if you like that, you can definitely give me a little thumbs up and aha in the comments, because the force of source is what we are all here to channel. So when you're watching this, let me know what's been showing up. How have you been feeling energy wise? Have you been feeling angry? Have you been feeling emotional? Have you been feeling fearful, doubtful, not sure who you are anymore, not sure where you're going, what matters? Or are you feeling really clear, really determined, really centered? This is really important for us to understand, because we all have different astrological profiles, right? We all have different human design profiles. And the way that what's going on in the cosmos affects us depends on the placement of so many different elements that it's not one size fits all, but there are universal principles that can support all of us to thrive through uncertain times. And that's what I'm going to share with you today. I'm also going to go through a short little star map reading and reveal some of the I am statements that we're working with. And I'm doing this because if you don't quite know how I operate, these energy transmissions prepare you for the Star Peace Paradise Earth Portal Full Moon Lunar Alchemy Lives, which I do every month. These are part of a private membership. It's a very, very accessible membership, and I'll put the link in the text box so you can find out about it. But this is the energy work that is the world service, where we take what's going on for us personally. We learn to love up through a process that I teach and I take you through whenever we have these lunar alchemy lives, that allows you to transmute density into light, to co-create consciously with your energy in alignment with the highest good of all and the win-win-win in everything. So you take the challenges that you're facing, and this is part of our mission as Starseeds, to lead by example. You take what you've been facing and you work through your own stuff as a gift to this world, because as you free yourself and raise your frequency, you do it with the intention that it's also freeing everyone else who has a similar issue that is somehow connected to you. And you might not feel that you're connected to people in other continents all around the world, but we are. We're connected through the crystalline grid. We're connected through the divine mind grid, and we're connected through the divine human heart grid. So when we access these horizontal planes through being connected to source, through choosing to be a conduit of our own highest self-consciousness, our impact starts with a ripple, becomes a wave, and then becomes a tsunami of change. And that's how we are all uniting our energies. If you did miss the Lionsgate live event that I hosted and the Light Body Masterclass, please remember that these replays are available. They're going to be available all month in the Star Peace Paradise Earth portals. This is only £14.44 a month, right? And the reason I'm really doing this to make this available to everyone is I know we're all at different stages of what we have available to us in terms of material supplies. And more often than not, there are many amazing beings who are struggling financially to actually fulfill their work in this world, because the material world is not quite resonating. And this is really important for us to address, because we are not here to just be energy beings. We're here to thrive in the material world too. And Virgo is an earth sign. Virgo is a sign that is about creating structures for our energy to flow most optimally. So we're being guided now to create the structures in our lives that will allow us to be able to raise our frequency to thriving rather than surviving. But obviously, we need to access that. So, part of what's gone on in the last 2 months is we've been invited into a light body expansion. And it is important now we stabilize in that expansion. And we've also been invited to activate the star peace codes in the crystalline grid of the earth. So, every time I offer the lunar alchemy sessions, I will be working with the crystal mandala that I created for the Lionsgate Peak. And those who joined me, and we're actually 22 live together, which is very interesting because this number is so powerful for what we're doing. We channeled the crystalline codes, the star peace codes through the crystalline mandala into the crystalline grid. So they're active. Right now, you can uncross your legs, put your feet on the ground, and choose to connect to these energies. And it works a lot better if you haven't got rubber on the soles of your feet, and ideally if you're connecting your feet to the earth. So on a rock, on soil, on sand, on grass, just to allow yourself to really feel this connection with terra, with earth, with this physical planet. We are physical beings, my friends. We are meant to have a pleasurable physical experience, and many of us are now realizing that the way that we were showing up in the past, the way that we could tolerate all sorts of things, certain foods, alcohol, whatever substances, whether they're pharmaceuticals, recreationals, whatever your thing is, there is a shift now in our relationship with them. And what's important is to move out of judgment into neutrality and curiosity, and just to explore what works now best for us. So you bet your bottom dollar that presently, in the dark of the moon, there's going to be some interesting shadow stuff coming up. And part of it, because we're coming into a lunar eclipse in Pisces, will be to do with how we like to numb out, how we like to basically go la 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 la, or how we like to be ungrounded and in the stars. That's all fine, but we are here to have a physical experience. So maintaining a vital physical being is important. And it can seem as though there are those of intention to keep us sedated, to keep us sick, to keep us constantly battling some kind of environmental force, let's say, that probably isn't natural, may well be man-made. Ours is not the role to judge. Ours is simply to connect to source, to make sure that our own energy field is so strong that whatever is being thrown at us, we are able to transmute that energy. It's fuel for the change that we're calling in. So let me just go quickly into the various things going on here, because for you to make the most of the current energies, it's important to recognize that the current mission for us all is to integrate our shadow and our light. We cannot be separate. We are not just our light. We are not just our shadow. And if you haven't yet seen K-pop Demon Hunters, I recommend you do. It's on Netflix, really good. Gemma recommended this to me, and I would say for everyone that I think it's a beautiful example of how we step into the era of uniarchy, the era of the divine child, and also how we embrace the era of Aquarius and move out of the age of Pisces. So the Piscean energy is rife right now, and it's often associated with the desire for pleasure, for escape, for yeah, not really being fully present. Okay. One of the interesting things about Pisces is it's seen as a watery, wishy-washy sign. We've got two fish going in opposite directions. But the interesting thing is it's the last sign of the zodiac. So the next full moon will be in Aries. And so we're getting this like cleanup job going on. And what we're seeing with it is this awareness that the Piscean energy is worldly wise in the sense that it's gone all the way around the zodiac. So it's had an experience of being in each of the signs, and it's learned that things are not as defined and black and white as maybe the Aries energy that sees things very simply as right, wrong, good, bad, move forward, don't think about the consequences, just follow what you're about. You could almost imagine that Pisces is the extreme opposite of that, because like, ooh, this could lead to this could lead to that, this could be this. And so we can get caught up in confusion. And the important thing is, when you are confused, remember that it's about concepts fusing, new ideas getting integrated into your being. You've activated more of your soul gifts, more of your purpose. And as a result of that, the important element here is to learn to get curious rather than judgmental. So, what have you been judging recently? Who have you been judging recently? Have you noticed for yourself that it may feel as though some of your vices have been out of control? Where you felt the need to reach out more just to stabilize, whether it's a drink, whether it's a smoke, whether it's something sugary or something salty or whatever, just to balance you out a bit. I'm inviting you to observe and get curious and to really observe in you what's lifting you up and what feels like it's bringing you down. Because the parts of us that have power over us, and this is what Pisces full moon is pulsing to bring to our awareness, are the parts of us that we don't love and we don't acknowledge, right? So the parts of us that have power over us are the parts of us that we have rejected or we have abandoned because we felt that somehow they're not acceptable parts of us. So the whole thing around abandonment and rejection is coming up right now. You might be experiencing old wounds, old hurts coming up, old memories of times when you have felt abandoned and you have felt rejected. And the key gift here is that you are being invited to reclaim parts of you. So the bits of you don't like, the bits of you that you feel are wrong, the bits of you that you feel shame for or guilt around, or even the bits of you that you like to blame others for, that you are the way you are. Mom, you made me this way. Dad, you made me this way. Well, you know what? It's time for us to reclaim our power and our sovereignty, because that's the gift of the Virgin. That is the gift of Virgo energy. Reclaiming autonomy, reclaiming sovereignty. Because guess what? Pioneers, trailblazers, i.e. starseeds and light leaders, way showers, luminaries, we are here holding the frequency of a new earth paradigm. We can't look outside of us for the validation that we seek. When we tap inside and we actually say, you know what, I'm going to really honor in me my truth here. I'm going to honor what I know is beyond what I've been taught is right, because that might have been right in the old world. But now as we create a new one, there are new ways of seeing things. And personally, I walk between the worlds, right? What does that mean? Embracing shadow and light is key. It's recognizing even that some of the spiritual disciplines we've been taught, the way we've been taught to operate. You know, how many people have said, oh, you've got to be a vegan or you've got to be a vegetarian or you're not going to be able to ascend. I'm like, I'm not sure that's really the way it is. It's the judgment that keeps us from ascending. But people are very, very stuck in their beliefs. So if you find that you're challenging your beliefs right now, that's a good thing. Okay, so let's just look at the fact that we have world events rife. There've been fires, there've been hurricanes, there've been earthquakes, extreme weather patterns. Are these engineered? Is this nature responding? Well, in my world, it's not either or, it's and this and more. And actually, what's been going on in you? Have you been in floods of tears? Have you been feeling shaken? Have you been feeling fiery? Right? Have you had to put boundaries in place because you're feeling as though you're not being respected? Like, we're all elementals on some level, right? So notice for you, depending on your sun sign, your moon sign, your rising sign, you'll have a sense of the elements that are most strong in you. So I'm a double fire and water, right? And you know, if you know your sun sign, for example, I'm a Leo, whatever your birth sign is, that's your sun sign. Your moon and your ascendant or your rising, you can find out very easily. These will give you a sense of what's present for you. And what I'd invite you to remember is whatever's going on the outside is also going on the inside. So we're being called to come to our center, to move out of the extremes, to notice where we get triggered by stories, narratives in the collective, and to unhook ourselves from those narratives. So this is part of the mission now, should you choose to accept it. Even if you are a social activist, even if you are here fighting for change. And I do this because I'm like, let's not fight for change. Let's command change. Let's bring it in such a way that it's like, this is what is happening, right? Ordaining it, commanding it is very different to fighting for it. Why do I have a problem with fighting for it? Because fighting keeps us divided. And what we've done through the whole of the age of Pisces is typically when humanity is united, it's been against a common enemy. And right now, I don't know if you noticed, there's all this talk of this mothership that's landing at some point in November. And again, we're being given the opportunity to unite against a potential threat, an enemy, an extraterrestrial, an alien race, goodness knows, right? Oh, there's all this stuff going on in the world. But you know what? Let's just put all that aside because we've got this other danger here. How about we shift that narrative and we say, what if we united towards a common goal? What if we united towards the common goal of ending all unnecessary suffering on this planet, on putting to use everything that we've learned that can support us to live in harmony, humans, nature, and tech? It's important because that's where we're going. So the fact that we actually have what's going on now is this big shake-up with all the world events, with a lot of it being nature cataclysms, for want of a better word, is we've been here before. All right, humanity has faced its own extinction many times. The planet's still here, but there's been quite a few events over time, however long that is, where humanity's been seriously culled. And we're being given the opportunity now to basically decide our fate. The old world is dying, it is done. But the new world that we create is up to us. Are we going to create more of the same? Or are we going to step forward and create something new? Now, everyone here who's been holding the frequency of the New Earth paradigm is visioning a world that I call Paradise Earth. You might call it something else, but it's a world where we thrive, where we cooperate, where we collaborate, where we move beyond this idea of it's me or you, survival of the fittest. So I'm inviting you now to consider that the next phase, those who are actually going to survive are the ones that choose to align with thriving and choose to cooperate rather than dominate. So pay attention to where you are seeking to dominate in your world, or you're finding others are seeking to dominate you. And if you feel we have no power over the powers that be, whether they're, institutions, governments, rules, regulations, whatever they may be, we have so much more power than we realize, that the only way that we're easily sort of held down is through fear tactics, right? So be aware of where fear is motivating you right now, because that's where you are being controlled. So I've said two things here that are really important. One, the parts of you that have power over you are your unclaimed shadows, the parts of you that you reject and that you abandon. The other thing is the way that we are all controlled is through fear, distortion. Fear puts us into a fight, flight, freeze, fawn state. And in terms of the Virgo energy, when Virgo is out of balance, there's this sense of nervousness, being highly strung, being anxious, which then the counter of that is being depressed because we're exhausted our adrenal glands. And so if we're to actually employ the higher octave of the Virgo energy, and we're getting two chances to do this, right? Then it's going to be to instead of this energy being unearthed and leading us into this sense of overwhelm and short circuitry and power cuts and all of that kind of energy, we earth it, we root it, we take the extra energy that's been coming through since the photon stream of Lionsgate, and we channel it towards the highest good. We purify the waters, we calm the fires, right? We bring a sense of security and safety to the changing plates on the planet. And we invite the elementals to support us. We support them, they support us, to create the best possible outcomes for all. We are more powerful than anything that seeks to have power over us. We have to claim our power and decide the direction we're going. So, are we in a state of regression, or are we actually in a state of rebirth? Well, again, it's not either or, it's and this and more. We are, in one sense, regressing because you always regress before a developmental leap. And on the other hand, we are being reborn, we are progressing, because whenever eclipses come about, whenever we have big portal energies having come in to help us to align with the divine in us, It's like Kali comes in, the energy of the goddess that destroys. She cleans house. She comes in and she goes, we're done with that. We're done with that. We're done with that. And she literally makes sure that you are on your most optimal path. So if you're not sure what to wish for right now, if you're not sure what to want for yourself or the world, ask for the highest good of all and the win-win-win and everything. Ask for what is, yeah, for the best for all. Ask for what is going to support everyone to thrive and create harmony and unity in diversity. Because this is how we will get the next codes, if you like, the next bit of information to support us on our personal journey. Now, the Virgo moons are about autonomy, sovereignty, nervous system reset, and aligning with the Thrive paradigm. The Pisces full moon is all about clearing resistance, illusion, and martyrdom. So we're stepping into our highest expression. Now, the stories we've been told, because Pisces, Christ consciousness, Christ, Jesus, the age of Pisces, we have been told distorted truths about all of our history and her story and our story in all of time. We're learning more about these distortions, but the important thing to remember is what we have been taught isn't necessarily the way things are, which is why, again, coming back to our own inner authority is key, and evolving beyond self-sacrifice is essential. But the paradox is self-sacrifice has been what we have been shown as the ultimate form of love in the era of Pisces. That was what was exemplified. So now we're learning, surely I'm better off alive than dead if I am a light leader here to help others learn how to live in harmony, right? If I die in the process and they don't know how to live a different way to what they know, aren't they going to do more of the same and trample over this amazing Garden of Eden that we're co-creating through our imagination and intention? That's what's happening. That's the invitation. Now, you might think I'm mad in what I'm saying, but I'm not. I'm saying to you, something has to be wanted for it to come into existence. So in the same way that when a baby is breastfed, the milk isn't there on demand, like all there from the start. You start off with colostrum. The baby has to suckle and put its order in order for there to be enough milk to meet the demand. So initially there isn't. But the baby doesn't give up, because if the baby gives up, it ain't going to be living for very long. The baby keeps on suckling and going, I want more, I want more, I want more. And by constantly reaffirming what it wants, the muscles are built to be able to then receive it, and the milk is produced. So we're all learning here, and this is the analogy, to be very focused on what we want to create rather than what we fear will be created. And this is as important with the development of AI. It's as important when we think about climate change. It's as important when we think about addressing the inequalities and imbalances in this world and how we create good and something new from old, because that's what we're doing. The structures of everything on this planet are going through an upgrade. Everything that is natural and man-made. So please do remember that. And remember that eclipses are powerful reset points that fast track alignment and allow you to basically get aligned with your soul chosen destiny. Okay, so your soul chose for you an optimal timeline, but it gave you free will as to whether or not you were going to take it, right? So this is why when we say putting your soul in control isn't about putting anything other than the wisest part of you in control to lead the way. But most of us will argue against that, because our sense of identity doesn't come from our connection to our soul. It actually comes from our connection to our human that is conditioned according to the programs of our ancestors. So remember this, who you think you are isn't who you are, it's who you've been programmed to be. Now, the themes here of the regression and the rebirth are going to be bringing up elements, as I said, around addictions, fear cycles, lack mindset, overwhelm, things you thought you'd overcome coming up, going, you sure? Are you sure you don't want to buy back into this? Are you sure you don't want to like make yourself feel rubbish about yourself and, you know, about the world, and buy into the lack, limitation and struggle mindset of the old paradigm? This always happens every time you're about to step into something new. Your old self will revisit and go, really? And it will try and do everything it can to convince you to stay as you are. So what do? You get beyond the judgment into neutrality. You reaffirm that no matter what you come back forward to, no matter how much you pick up an old toy that you decided you're done with, in the end, you're going to put it down, you're going to walk away because there's something better coming for you. So notice where you feel as though you want to make a change, but it feels as though something has power over you. This will clear over this next month, okay? That's the intention I'd invite you to put forward. So there are I am statements that I share with everybody with each new moon. And these I am statements help us to anchor the energy of the new moon. And I also add extra I am statements for the full moon. Now, what's important to remember is anything you say after the words I am must be obeyed. Okay, so that's why when you say things like, oh, I'm rubbish at this, or I'm always late, cancel, because I'm not going to take those on, you are affirming those truths, or you're affirming those statements as truths. So what do you want instead? Be very aware of what you say after I am and consciously choose to say I am along with the statements that are things you want to embed in your world. And if you really, really want to see the shift in you, there's two things that you can do. One is write your I am statements on a piece of paper and put them underneath a bottle of water. I'd always say glass, or any kind of vessel that you can have your water in as the new moon births. So that's on Saturday, and let the energies of the new moon come in. We do this again with the full moon, but if you just leave it out overnight, over 24 hours, once you can see the new moon, you'll start to bring those new energy codes in. And as you drink your water, you are informing all of the waters of your being, all the cells of your being, to resonate with these frequencies. You'll become a different person. You'll start to wonder, who am I now? Because I'm not the me that once was. And if old you is revisiting, it really is just because you're about to have another leap. Now, the second thing you can do is you can join us for the multidimensional yoga that I offer online. It's all around the world. Even if you can't join us live, you can catch the replays. We've got a whole year's worth of replays, and we give all of the sessions titles so you can actually see what you feel like and then join in. But what we do in the multidimensional yoga is we embed the I am statements into our cellular memory and our energy field. We align with them, we activate them in our energy field. So you just have an exponential impact response to what you're calling in as intention setting. And remember, with new moons, you're seeding intentions. With full moons, you're clearing resistance in your conscious and subconscious mind, because the energy of the moon draws everything up and out. So we really get to work with this in such a powerful way. And remember, if you do want to join the multidimensional yoga membership, which is only £48 a month, you get the Star Peace Paradise Earth Portal membership as a freebie. It's part of it, so 2 for 1. So I'm going to recommend you go for that if you haven't already. You get so much in all of this: personal service, world service. It's to keep you on track, okay? Because we're getting upgrades all of the time, and the important thing is that we stabilize in each upgrade before the next one comes. Right? The waves are going to keep coming. You just got to learn to surf bigger and bigger waves. The way you surf bigger and bigger waves is you practice, and you get the muscles to be able to handle it and to learn how to deal with the fears that come about. So I will give you the I am statements in a moment. I'm just going to go into the star map reading as well. But another thing that's important to remember is with each new moon, I always share a masterclass as part of the membership. And this month's masterclass is all about aligning with your soul mission, like getting clear on what your soul mission is now, because you may have noticed your soul mission changes. I'm on the 5th iteration of my soul mission. And sometimes we have soul contracts that come to an end. You may well find that's happening in your life now. It might be with a job, it might be with a person, right? It might be with a home, it might be with an element of your roles in life, right? Maybe the kids have got older, they're leaving home. Something's happening. And this is again about you celebrating this shift and allowing it to be. Now, at this point in time, we're in the void. Okay, so we're in the void between the old world and the new one, particularly when we're in eclipse season. Now, the void is a space that can look like it's empty, but it's pregnant with possibility. And in a way, you have the void at the fullness of your in-breath, where you're full of prana and you're ready to exhale and release. And then you have the void where you're completely empty, ready to fill up again with the in-breath. And I say this because the void can feel different depending on how you approach it. The not knowing where you're going, the being in unfamiliar territory, that can be really scary. How many times you say you just want to experience peace because your head is so full of noise, and then the peace comes and you feel like there's something wrong because your head's not full of noise. Well, the void is like being in a space where there's no noise. It's a space where you're floating like a seed from one place to the next. And it's about trusting that your internal GPS, your internal sat nav, for those of us who are old enough to remember them, is taking you where you want to go rather than where you fear you'll end up based on your old conditioning. How do you guarantee this? Through intention, through putting your soul in control, through doing what is in your conscious awareness, in your conscious control to do, to align yourself with your highest self, with the divine. And that's why the Star Peace Paradise Earth Portal and the Multidimensional Yoga Membership both exist. I just wanted to say something about the void as the liminal space because it helps to bring this to life. And for those who are in that Pisces, floaty, don't know where I am, don't know where I'm going, can't quite make sense of anything just yet, don't worry. As the new moon energy comes in, it's going to help to become much clearer and more focused about how you can support yourself. And as the full moon builds in intensity, it will draw away and up any resistance to love up. Okay. But what's key here is to enjoy the not knowing. So the liminal space refers to a transition or an in-between state or place, often evoking feelings of unease and disorientation due to its ambiguous nature. These spaces are neither here nor there, existing as thresholds or boundaries between defined locations or states of being. Okay, now let's just imagine this from the point of view of I'm leaving the old world of the struggle paradigm behind. I'm now in my vehicle, boat, airplane, whatever you are, seed pod, going towards the world where I am living a reality where I am thriving. We're all on this one way or another. In this time in between, I'm left with myself, my own thoughts, my own emotions, my own expectations, my own beliefs. And what I'm getting to do is to go through the process of going from caterpillar to butterfly. Now, it doesn't just happen overnight. Giving birth is messy. Building a building is messy. Being pregnant is a journey of many ups and downs, right? So this journey of you transitioning into the you that can hold the frequency of the new earth paradigm means the letting go of that which doesn't serve. So when you do meet a part of yourself that is resistance, that is doubt, that is fear, that is anxiety, that is depression, that is judgment, there is blame, guilt, shame, anger, rage, all of that stuff. There is, let me numb out. This is too painful. Can you meet this bit of you with compassion? And can you choose to evolve beyond the judgment and say, I see you? Because noticing fixes more than fixing. And that's the rainbow gem coming next week. And this is the whole point of us knowing that just by becoming aware of something, we're starting to shift our relationship to it because we're now aware, whereas before we weren't. This is very powerful. Okay, so if you are already in your own eyes on your soul path, tell me in the comments. Let me know I'm on my soul path. Yes. If you are unsure of whether you're currently on your soul path, like you've been on a path, but actually you're not sure if it's really it anymore, you're itching towards something else, put itching in the comments, okay? Because there's something to be said for when you are following a clear direction and you're just going through the challenges that come with aligning with that versus not being sure where to orientate yourself towards. And depending on where you are on your journey, what will be required to be able to support you to align with the next step will be different. Now, some of you are on the path of the full fear matrix to divine matrix upgrade. The light leaders, I mean, there are many star seeds on this planet, but the light leader star seeds are here to lead as the frequency of their highest selves. And this does require us to have a full alignment with our highest self consciousness, our superconscious. And I talk more about this as I go into the work that I do in the Star Peace portal. But the main thing for this is to establish that if you have been working solo for a very long time and you find it difficult to trust others, part of the New Earth paradigm is about trusting others. And none of us can see our own blind spots. So the important thing is to remember to ask for help, but to be discerning in who you ask for help. So you see how it's not either or, it's and this and more. If you went to someone and you want to be a millionaire, for example, and you go to someone who's got no money but lots of opinions who tells you that they can help you be a millionaire, you got to question that, right? If you go to someone who you know has been through what you are going through now and can take you to the other side, then that's going to be very different to choosing to ask someone's support that can't really get you there because they don't know how to get you there. They haven't been through it themselves. So pay attention to who is around you. Pay attention to what people are offering you. And consider that, the Virgo energy is about learning to place yourself with those who support you to empower yourself. They're not taking your power away. They're not saying to you, give me your power, right? Let me tell you what to do. Let me guide you. They're just acting as an interface for you. And this is very important because those of us who have struggled to allow others to support us basically have had our trust abused. And so it's very difficult to learn to trust. And yet that is exactly what we're called to do because the new world is one that we're co-creating together through owning our shadow and our light. And the Virgo energy that's coming now is really to support you to be discerning, not to block yourself off from the support that's available, but to be discerning with who you align with for support. So I just wanted to read out to you actually the title of this masterclass. So Unlock and Activate Your Soul Mission Masterclass. This is what I'm offering everybody as part of the membership this month. And remember that you are also going to get the Light Body Masterclass and the Lionsgate activation as well. So if you feel as though you didn't make the most of the Lionsgate energies, somehow it passed you by, and you certainly haven't really expanded and activated your light body, I encourage you to make the most of the offer that is available right now, because some of you are ready to go much deeper. Some of you are ready for this full system upgrade. And if you're tingling as I say this, you're the people that are meant to book desire mapping calls with me and to find out about the process that we take people through in Rosy Glow to teach them to be conscious co-creators of their reality at the highest level. So this is about clearing the societal programming, the cultural, the religious, the socioeconomic, and the gender-based programming that is in the collective hologram, but also the personal stories that relate to your soul memories and your bloodline memories. Because many of us right now are living out stories on repeat that are not our stories. They're our bloodline ancestor stories that were never claimed, were never owned. And as a result of that, we keep looping until we allow ourselves to accept and forgive the past and move on. And that's again one of the key lessons that we're receiving through this new moon and full moon energy. Now, let's just see where we're at, because this has been a full-on energy update so far. So I just want to check in, see where everyone's at. Any questions from anyone as we're going forward? I actually do need to find the insights here. So let's see. So if anyone's got any comments, let me know on what I'm sharing and how it's resonating. And let me finish here with the I am statements that I'm going to share with you, and also this star map reading. So you don't know about these star maps. These are in the book. Okay. And this book, Star Peace 101, How to Create Peace in One Generation, available on Amazon, is talking all about everything that's going on in this world in a way that is coded, that will appeal to your imagination, that will appeal to your logic too, in the sense that it will scramble it. But it's all written in code to help us understand that, yes, there's synthetic timelines. Yes, there's organic timelines. Yes, there's true essence in everything, and there's also distortion in everything. And it's about how we become our most powerful selves and how we take what is possible for us to actually change and change it, and then to channel the frequencies that allow us to live our divinity here on this planet and to co-create a paradise earth planet for all, not just for us. So if you love the sound of that, then I highly recommend you check the book out. And for now, I'm going to pick three star maps to help us to really navigate this journey from where we are to where we are going. And I mean here how we can move from the challenges that have just been showing up through Lionsgate and through the alignments that have occurred through the summer over here in the northern hemisphere, and to allow us to really embody the version of us that we are becoming. So let's see, this is the first one. And I'm just going to go here. Interesting. Okay, so this star map is the main star map of the course Fear Less, Loved Up and Limitless, which is the 6-month subconscious detox. Okay, this is the one where we clear all of the societal stuff and what's gone on for you that is playing out from before the age of 7 in your life. And where we're at the moment, for those of you who see yourself as light leaders, activated star seeds, is step 5, blind spot discovery and fine tuning. Now, what this is about is paying attention to how our outer world is responding to our intentions. And we're being given the opportunity to challenge our mindset. So this is really important to remember that if you are on a path of mastery, right now you're getting to see where you wobble, where you sort of come off your throne, as it were, where you oscillate out of your center. So is it a belief about yourself? Is it a belief about the world? What is the main emotion that destabilizes you? Is it fear? Is it anger? Is it doubt? Is it shame? Is it guilt? Like, what is the main emotion that drops you out? And for a moment, you forget who you are, an amazing being that's unfuckwithable. Unfuckwithable. Yeah, that's the right word. So that's the key, is to pay attention to how your current consciousness is impacting your reality. Let's pick 2 more. And if you want a deeper dive into what each of these star maps mean, they're all in the book. There's much more information in the book for each of these. That was step 5 of the 6 co-creation steps. Let's go again. I'm going to flip this around and go here. Ooh, interesting. So now we have the star map, which is the main star map for the Liberation from Limitation course, which is also part of this year-long journey that we offer. And this one's about how you train your conscious mind to align with what you desire rather than what you fear. And this one is what you focus on grows. So imagine that in this world, whatever you are giving your attention to is amplified. So do you want to amplify what you are focusing on? Ask yourself that question. So the first thing is, what are you seeing? Okay. How is your current consciousness either supporting you or blocking you in the direction you want to go? The second one is, get clear on what you're focused on. Be really clear on what you are energizing in your life. Where is the emphasis of your focus? What do you energize with your inner dialogue and your outer expression? Are you playing victim, judging and criticizing yourself or others? What do you fear and how can you empower yourself? These are the questions that will allow you to make the most of these current energies. Okay, 1 more, and then I'll move you into the I ams. I'll let you know a little bit about what we're going to be doing with the next Lunar Alchemy Live, which is on the 7th, the full moon lunar eclipse. And we're going to be gathering on the 5th ahead of this to do some powerful work. Okay, so last one for the tribe here can support us to build the bridge from where we are to where we want to be. Okay, so we're in the 12 stages of creation star map. Now, this is a star map that nature follows this pattern, the 12 stages of creation. And where we are at the moment is step 6, which is independence. When the creation is able to take care of itself, the structures are in place to go forth and replicate, and there is self-reliance. Very interesting, because this means, for those of us who are catching this mission statement, this mission upgrade, you have what you need. Okay, you've already done a lot of the work that will allow you to recognize the frequency that you desire to be in. The important thing is to reclaim your power and pull back all the places and people you've given your power to, other people's opinions, right? The government, the financial system, the cloud seeding, whatever your thing is that you give your power away to and you feel powerless in relation to, claim it back. You are independent. You are able to make choices in your life today that will support you no matter what's going on in the world. So this is where the Virgo energy really comes in. Okay, the Virgo energy is saying, I'm going to stop listening to what everyone else is saying. As a trailblazer, as a pioneer, you are leading the way. You are creating a new fashion, right? So if you judge yourself as good or bad, if you judge things as good or bad, you stay in duality. Whereas if you ask the question, well, how is this helping me? How is it hindering me? What good can come from this? That's when all the magic can really happen. So remember that the structures, just to summarize all of this, the structures that are currently being placed are the structures of the new world. We've had scaffolding around the old world paradigm for a really long time, but at this point, the new structures are there. They're in place, okay? They might need some strengthening, but they're there. We have a new foundation. Instead of being founded in fear and in struggle and in conflict, we're now founded in peace. We're rooted in love, right? This is the invitation. So this is the new structures. You're building structures on top of I'm rooted in love and I'm founded in peace. And I'm going to invite you to claim that I am statement first and foremost. I am rooted in love and my foundation is peace. Because anything that isn't in love and rooted in peace and founded in peace will come up ahead of the Pisces full moon. Okay. And this is the point. It's the end of that chapter. We're not doing that anymore. Anything that takes us out. The other I am statements that are super powerful for us presently. So these are the Lionsgate integration I am codes. I am unfuckwithable. Sorry if that offends you, but how does that feel when you say that? I'm rooted in love. My foundation is peace. I am unfuckwithable. No one can mess with me. I am sovereign in my light. This will align with your light body. I am a beacon of peace, coherence, and abundance. How does that feel? Say it with me. I am a beacon of peace, coherence, and abundance. Just go into these for now, okay? I'm rooted in love and my foundation is peace. I am unfuckwithable. I am sovereign in my light. I am a beacon of peace, coherence, and abundance. I will put these in the chat box for you so you've got them as well. And there are a couple more. So it feels like there are a lot of I am statements to implement at the moment. And to me, this is because we're actually we're going through such an upgrade ourselves, right? Where our structures are actually changed, that the new I am statements are helping us to live this new frequency. So I am safe in change will also support you a lot. I am safe in change. Now, let me just see what is going on here. And if I have any questions, and what I wanted to share with you all about what we're going to be doing with the full moon is the template for this full moon lunar alchemy live is to have a vision of the version of ourselves that we desire to activate, to embody in this world. Okay, so if you know, for example, right now that you'd like to be a version of yourself that is maybe doing something slightly different, like getting up early in the morning, or choosing not to drink, or it's taken up a form of exercise that you would like to embed, or your new baseline energy is peace rather than struggle or rather than anxiety. I'm asking you to, in this time between now and the full moon, and I'm going to be hosting the full moon lunar alchemy live on Friday, the 5th of September. Okay, so you can mark your diaries. It will be in the evening, most likely. but Friday the 5th of September, so you've got time to work with this. Take a moment to consider the you that you desire to be. Take a moment to consider the version of you that you desire to embody. When you look in the mirror, what do you see? Okay. When you consider the areas of your life where you feel as though you're lacking, imagine yourself feeling as though you're not lacking in those areas, right? And also, in terms of the structures, right, for us actually creating a new reality, what are the structures that you feel you want? Like, for example, at the moment, AI is a big part of people's businesses. It's growing, right? So people like me are having to look at how we're going to engage with it and everything else that's happening. If something feels as though it's really not working well in your life right now, consider the opposite of it. Consider what it would look like for it to work. What are the structures you want to have in place? Maybe you're learning to work with your finances differently. Maybe you're going to start getting into, I don't know, investing or crypto or something like that. Maybe you are ready to take a course, or you're looking to rearrange your home, or look at how you file everything in your office. Like, everything here is about getting ready now to consider what structures are going to support you to thrive. So ask your question: what structures are going to support me to thrive? What do you want to implement now as we come into the next section of the year, as we come towards the equinox? Right? What is going to serve you in preparation for between the equinox and then the solstice? This is your time to think ahead, to plan ahead, so that you can have a blueprint of the you that you desire to embody. And I'm going to invite everybody just to really take that time to consider what you want to bring into your life and what you want to let go of, so we can really allow ourselves to do the releasing and the accepting that will allow every one of us to do this for ourselves and the world. So I'll just go over the I am statements one more time. And I would love just for everybody here to take a moment and remember that what you do for yourself, you do for the world. And we are here now to make sure that we are creating a world for all that is thriving. So first of all, I am rooted in love and my foundation is peace. That's going to be all year round that we're working with that. Secondly, I am unfuckwithable. Thirdly, I am sovereign in my light. Fourth one, I am a beacon of peace, coherence, and abundance. The last one, I am safe in change. Thank you so much for being a part of all of this. I'm going to remind you again that there's 3 calls to action here. 1, join us for the Star Peace Paradise Earth Portal membership. Like, come into our community, come and join us for the Lunar Alchemy Live. Make the most of the masterclass that's coming up to support you with your soul mission. And of course, access the replay of the light body activation so that you can stabilize in your new frequency, and also participate in the Lion's Gate transmission of the peace codes for yourself into the grid of the earth and into all areas of your life. If you feel like you're ready for more, why not join us for the yoga, and you will get the Star Peace Paradise Earth Portal for free. Please don't worry about the fact that you might not be able to join us for both live classes every week. Most people only join us for one. Okay, but you can catch the replay of the other one every week. And if you know that that all sounds lovely, but you've been listening and you're like, this makes sense to me, this is where I'm at, then of course book yourself a desire mapping call if you are serious about investing in yourself, in making a change. Now, I do one-off sessions that are 3 figures, but everything else is 4 or 5 figures, so please bear that in mind. And if that's not where you are right now, we have all sorts of resources to support you to get there in the Star Peace Paradise Earth Portal and the multidimensional yoga membership. So reach where you can, and the rest will be made available. Thank you so much for participating in leading the way in this new earth shift, because every one of us is playing our part beautifully. And in a world where it seems as though everything's stacked against us, remember that whatever seems as though it's stacked against you can be utilized by you to create something new and positive in your world and the world around us. So for now, I'm going to say ta-ra, sending you all loads of love. Thank you for your participation. Thanks for your comments, and we will catch up on the 5th. So all the sign up links will be in the chat box below. Take care for now. Thanks for subscribing.